we are back. Second segment after the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, man. Doing it.
That's right. And we have two fun little treats for you. So let's start with a segment we introduced to you guys a few weeks ago called What's Up? So this week, as you guys might have guessed, we're going to say what's up with the 76ers. Markelle Fultz is in New York City currently, getting checked out by a bunch of specialists for his shoulder, trying to fix that shot. But a lot of people say it's mental. So is he even seeing the right specialist? What is up with Markelle Fultz and what is up with the Sixers?
So the Sixers were here on Sunday, 2 nights ago, playing the Nets. I was covering that game. And when the story came out, well, so a couple different things came out. One, that the Sixers are saying that Markelle Fultz is no longer part of their future plans, right? That story had come out.
Yes.
But first, before that, the story was Markelle was leaving the team for a week to 10 days. And I wasn't sure, is he going to be traveling with them? What is happening?
No one really knew the
All
real
he was going
story.
to New York to see a specialist. As mentioned, Sunday they were in Brooklyn. I was at that game covering it. I saw Markelle outside the team locker room talking to his teammates, so it looked fine.
I thought this was really interesting. I saw some interviews during practice and everything with Coach Brett Brown and even the GM, and Brett Brown said, I just played him a few days ago. I didn't know he had a problem. I thought he played very well. And then the GM said, yeah, I guess he's seeing a specialist. We don't really know. And it was all of the lawyers doing, apparently. There's something going on behind the scenes. There's a miscommunication happening somewhere. And it's interesting to see if Markelle Fultz is going to be with the 76ers after this. I mean, like we said, they can only try for so long.
The weird thing is
now
that
they have Butler as well.
This is only his second season.
Yeah.
I mean, he missed almost all of last year with the injury, and now that could be part of the reason why we are where we are right now. To me, and I've said this on this podcast, I've seen him warm up. I've seen what the Sixers do when he is warming up. It appears to be very mental with him. Look, I don't know because we haven't seen anything from a physical standpoint, report-wise, what's going on with any injury. But it seems to be that there's some kind of block going on in his head with what's happening, what's going on with the shot. And now there's miscommunication or mistrust, it seems like, between Markelle's camp and the Sixers.
Yeah.
All of that leads to a problem. It's problematic. And I just wonder if another destination or another venue will be good for him in a fresh start. The problem, of course, is that what are you going to get of value back in return? He is still very young, so there's that. But, I mean, the other people around the league have been seeing what's going on, and it hasn't been good.
And if there's anything that the NBA has taught us with mental, I don't want to say issues.
Right, because I don't think it's a...
No, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
If there's anything that... I'll say mental awareness. If there's anything that the NBA has taught us with mental awareness, it is a very serious thing.
Yeah.
It is just as serious as an injury could be. Especially with all these guys coming out and admitting that they've had anxiety or they've had depression. Do I think it's a mental thing with Markelle Fultz? Personally, I do. I do think that there could be a problem with the shoulder, but I told you before we started filming, I've interviewed him twice, one specifically one-on-one, and yes, he was just drafted. It was the beginning of his first season, but he did seem a little bit significantly different than a lot of the other players. You see, I guess Lonzo Ball isn't a great example.
Right. But there are other players who are more gregarious and outgoing. And that's the thing, that could not be Markelle's personality, but who knows, like you said.
He seemed a little bit reserved, a little bit frightened maybe and introverted, and that's fine. That KD comes off that way sometimes too. We talked about it. But I really do hope that he gets the help that he needs because he's receiving such attention that a lot of it he doesn't need, some he does, but we hope they can figure this one out.
It ultimately comes down to we don't know what's going on with him, right? Is it a physical thing or is it a mental thing? A mental thing from when you all of a sudden can't make putts anymore when you're a golfer. Like what is happening? Like there's a disconnect somewhere, and what's going on? And are the Sixers willing to continue to go on with this, or do they want to wash their hands? We don't know, but it seems like that's a problem for them. Well, I will say this. clearly the Sixers are in win now mode because getting Jimmy Butler was huge, and it's a signal that we're trying to win and compete for a championship now. And that game on Sunday against the Nets was very interesting in the sense that Brett Brown, first of all, the Nets were beating the Sixers all game, and the Sixers mounted a furious comeback in the fourth quarter. Jimmy with the game-winning shot, and I asked him about it post-game. It was really interesting and funny, like just hearing him talk about it. But they drew the play up for him.
Oh, yeah. He said he has been working on that shot.
Yeah, he
stayed late in practice to work on that shot.
He's the closer now that they need. So, listen.
And if you notice, he hit that same shot.
Yes, against Charlotte.
Against Charlotte. Second game-winning shot in 12 days.
Yep.
And all I have to say is, in my opinion, I don't think the Sixers would have went shopping or would have picked up Jimmy Butler if they didn't feel as though they needed him, which you need something in place of Markelle Fultz right now. I'm sorry. You can't have your point guard, Ben Simmons, that can't knock down a shot. So
well, Ben won't even shoot, right? Like, and that's the thing late in games. Like, Ben, not even late in games, beginning of games, Ben does not shoot, period. He just won't. He'll attack the rim, sure, but
absolutely.
We saw in the playoffs, when teams know what you're going to do, they'll just sag off you and say, okay, you're not going to get another rim, so good luck shooting.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. And JJ Redick comes off the bench now, so they need someone who can knock down shots, and Jimmy can do that for them, and that was huge. And again, post-game, I asked Jimmy about it, and I said, because Ben had told me right before he didn't see the play because he was under the basket going for the rebound.
Yeah.
But he was like, but Jimmy went to his spot, so I knew it was step back. Because I said to him, step back to the right, pull up three. He was like, yeah, that's what he did.
Amazing.
And I said after the game, because Rodney Hollis-Jefferson, who was playing defense for the Nets, on that guarded him really well. The only way you could have guarded him better was if he fouled him. And I said to Jimmy after the game, does it matter defensively? He was like, no. He was like, once I can get to my spot and get that shot off, it's a pretty good chance it's going down.
Yeah. I mean, just by the shot that Jimmy made, knowing that was the second one, game winner, the confidence that Jimmy Butler is carrying is incredible. It really, really is.
And it's good for this team.
And the thing with Jimmy Butler, too, is he's so strong mentally. He was in his old team, the Timberwolves, and
the Timber Puppies.
The Timber Puppies. And even with the drama going on, he was having stellar games.
Oh, yeah, look.
So it doesn't get to him, which I love. These are moments that Jimmy Butler lives for, and he knows he can perform in that moment.
And it's great because it's also Jimmy carries himself like he is a top 5 or top 10 player in the league. And he's probably not that good.
I mean, he wasn't drafted at a good spot.
Right. I mean, he's probably top 15.
His way
but
through the league.
And that's the thing. Jimmy, his thing is I will outwork people. And look, he's obviously talented. He's in the NBA. But
but nobody thought he would be.
We don't put him in the category of Anthony Davis and these guys, right?
He does, and it's getting him somewhere.
Listen, guess what? He'll work. He has enough talent, right? That if he puts enough work together, he can do big things in this league, which he's done and which he's doing in the Sixers. This is a nice pickup for the Sixers.
It is.
I still want to see more. There are still moments where their offense looks a little bit clogged and cluttered. But hey, they have a guy who is not afraid to take and make big shots when it counts. And look.
And you need a guy like that, a big moment guy who's going to come in clutch, knock it down, and save you from 2 potential losses.
I wrote about this in my 5 observations from the game from Sunday night, which you can find on Black Sports Online, where I said, at the end of the day, top-end talent matters in this league, right? The teams with the most top-end talent typically win the title, right? So having another guy, because you already have Embiid and Simmons, 2 All-NBA guys, now you have a 3rd All-NBA guy, right? Like that.
That's right.
That's what you need to advance the team to the playoffs and make a run for a title, which is clearly what Elton Brand, Sixers GM, and the Sixers organization want to have happen going forward.
I agree. I think the Sixers are going to be on a good run, especially now with Butler. I think the chemistry is there. I think that if they make the right decisions with playmaking and end of game moves,
they still need one more shooter, I think. But yeah,
right.
they're looking good.
They are looking good. So
speaking of
not looking good, what is up with the Celtics offense? The team that we all thought was going to sweep the East has been
not good on offense.
Not good at all. The team that we thought was going to sweep the East has not been performing to the expectations that anyone thought, which really puzzles me because you have a roster that deep. You have Kyrie Irving. You have Gordon Hayward back off of injury. Okay, but Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, the list goes on.
Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart.
What is wrong with this offense, and how do we even start to dissect what this team isn't doing right?
There are 30 teams in the NBA. The Celtics are 27th in offensive efficiency.
That is,
if
rating. Somebody would have asked me this, no joke, off the street before we even shot this, I would have been like, hold on, I have to look that up really quick.
They are 11-10 right now. That is their record.
Why aren't they performing, though? What are we missing in this deep roster with this offensive good team who should be offensively good?
We got to go look at the coaching. Brad Stevens.
Is that where we're starting?
That's where I'm starting. That's where I'm starting and ending. Look, I've talked about this before on this pod.
That's where I'm starting and ending. Okay.
I've talked about it on this pod before, and I've talked to you about it. I've talked about it on many other pods and platforms. I've written about it.
Yes.
I am not saying Brad Stevens is not a good coach. That is not what I'm saying.
No.
But we were so quick to anoint him as a genius. Well, if he is in fact a genius, why can't a team with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, all these guys,
it's a mouthful.
Why can't they be better than 27th offensively?
Exactly. I'm hoping that this is just beginning of the season jitters, but we're rolling into December, okay? Once you hit January, that's it.
You know, everyone talked about the Celtics going to be the number 1 seed out of the East. People were picking, they're going to the finals. Hey, look, man, and look, the Celtics will make the playoffs. That is obvious.
Yeah.
If they don't start getting things together, they may not be a top 4 seed, which, hey, you want home court advantage in that first round, right? Like, because at this stage, if they don't start turning it on soon, they're not going to catch Toronto or Milwaukee.
Exactly.
Right? Because Toronto and Milwaukee are playing lights out right now.
I was just going to say, especially with the way these two teams are playing, it's just inevitable that the Celtics cannot compete if they keep playing like this or lack thereof.
Now, lucky for them, defensively, they're one of the top teams defensively, which is why they're 11-10. So if their defense was middle of the pack or worse, they'd be atrocious. Well, their defense is what's winning them games.
Here's my thing. I can't pinpoint why the Celtics aren't performing, especially offensively, because the defense is there. You have guys like Kyrie Irving who just had a 43-point night. So is it the coaching? Is it the chemistry? Is Gordon Hayward not coming off of injury as well? They performed better offensively. Granted, their backs were against the wall deep in the season.
Without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward.
Irving, Gordon Hayward. So where is the hole? And it's just an equation I can't figure out right now because, like I said,
Brad doesn't seem to know who his best 5 guys are on the court that he wants to have the right spacing, and their offense is just, what is the system that they run? And part of it too is Gordon Hayward coming off the injury and he's not fully where he wants to be. So that is part of it. So I don't want to just sit here and pile on Brad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what is the offensive system that they run? Mm-hmm. Do they run spread pick and roll? Do they run stuff out of the pinch post? What is it? And I don't know right now. Mm-hmm. And a team with Kyrie Irving as your main ball handler should be better than 27th on offense.
Yep.
You know, Jaylen Brown, all of a sudden, is the master of the long two. Like, what is he doing? Like, well, I know what he's doing, hanging out with Kobe Bryant too much. That's what he's doing. Ooh. All that Mamba mentality nonsense. Listen, get back out there and keep shooting threes, Jason. Yeah. Like, what? And then attack and get to the rim. That's what you were doing. Listen. He's athletic as all get out. Mm-hmm. Get to the rim and shoot threes. Those long 2s you're doing, dude.
It's hot in here, guys.
It's just, again, a team that has that much talent should be better. And really, this is just all about, I'm just cautioning people. We were so quick to jump on the Stevens is the best coach in the league thing. And I'm like, how can you say he's the best coach in the league when he hasn't won anything yet? It's easy to win, or easier to win, and defy expectations when the bar is low.
I was just going to say, let's think about it. We're in completely different situations than last year.
The bar is set now.
We have 2 stars. Like you said, the bar is set. They were 1 game away.
We expect to go to the finals now.
Exactly. So now, like you said, the bar is higher. There's more at stake. There's more pressure. And I hate the word pressure sometimes because you guys are professionals. You should perform on the biggest stage that there is. But like we said, there's 2 different situations right now. And not to mention, let's not talk about how there wasn't 70-some trade moves and different things made.
But also,
Toronto's a different team.
Yeah.
The Bucks are better.
Yeah.
So all the stakes have lifted at this point.
Part of it, too, is as good as Brad is as a coach, and I want to be clear, I think Brad is good, coaching talent and managing ego is a whole other level of coaching that I don't know if he's mastered yet. I honestly don't. It's easy to coach a team of rookies, young guys, and journeymen who want to prove themselves, right? It's another thing to coach guys with big egos and stars like Kyrie Irving, right? And integrate Cam and max players like Gordon Hayward. Yes, he coached them in college, but this ain't college. This isn't Butler. This is the NBA. So again, I don't think Brad is a bad coach. I think Brad is a very good coach. But the genius label everyone was throwing around last year, well, a genius would already figure out how to get this thing working. And look, they very well might by Christmas, but hey, if we're on this pod in January and they're still towards the bottom of the league in offensive efficiency, I'd be concerned, Celtics fans.
Exactly. So we'll have to wait to see what's up with the Celtics, but hopefully they can turn things around pretty quick.
And they have the talent to. And look,
they really do.
Danny may make a trade. Who knows? He might. There's a certain 7-foot unibrow player in New Orleans that might. Who knows? Anyway, moving on.
Oh my gosh. It's like I want summer 2019 here, but I don't because I'm really nervous.
That happened before summer 2019, but anyway.
Let's move on to a new segment we're going to introduce you guys to called Are They For Real? It's basically the teams that you did not think would perform as well as they are performing. So I'm going to let you guys in on something. The Clippers, the Kings, the Magic, and the Grizzlies are all showing out. We just said a few weeks ago that the Clippers weren't going to have a lot to celebrate this season. Well, Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin have been cooking with Dwayne Casey in LA. So
no, that's Detroit. You mean?
Oh my God.
you mean Lou Williams, Tobias Harris.
I'm sorry.
Patrick Beverly.
There's so many. I'm sorry. I still think Blake Griffin's on the Clippers apparently, but no, they're cooking in Detroit.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. But
yes, you
all
met
these
Lou,
teams are doing well.
and Montrezl Harrell. Listen, the Clippers,
Kings.
Doc has got them playing well.
He's a good coach.
Doc's a great coach. Clippers might still be the #1 team in the West, I think, right now.
Don't ask me, because apparently I thought Detroit was LA. So
if not, they're tied with Memphis. I'm pulling up the schedule right now, folks. So as of right now, the Clippers 13-6, best record in the Western Conference. Look.
Wait, what?
Yes, the Clippers. They're playing well. You know what it is about the Clippers?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. You're like, coming yet? Here's the thing about the Clippers. Everyone on that team knows their role and knows what their job is.
Which is extremely important. We talked about that with Klay Thompson. Knowing your role.
The Rock used to say it best when he was a wrestler. Know your role and shut your mouth, right? Like, hey, Clippers guys know what they are. Everyone, and they do what they do. Montrezl, defense, energy, rebounding, this is the thing. Lou Williams, instant offense. Listen, these guys know Beverly's going to hound you on defense. Tobias Harris, listen, man, he can shoot it, rebound. I mean, and Doc can coach. These guys know what they are.
So, everybody knows their role in LA. So, what's going on in Sacramento? De'Aaron Fox?
Well, here's the thing about Sacramento.
De'Aaron Fox is leading that team very well right now.
So Sacramento right now, as we're recording this podcast, is 10-10. Nothing world beating, but this team is perennially like where Phoenix is, like 2 wins at this stage.
They're working. And I saw an interview with De'Aaron Fox recently, and he was saying how it was so important to them as a team, especially him, to bring not exactly overnight a winning culture to Sacramento, but a culture.
Yeah.
And they have a very great relationship with their fans. And I don't usually talk about that kind of stuff a lot because it's a lot of times irrelevant. But those little victories are very important for teams like Sacramento.
Sure.
Because you have those small good things that lead to great things. Just because people aren't winning championships and getting as far as they should doesn't mean that they're not improving on immense
Here's
levels.
the thing about Sacramento it should not be understated. They've picked in the lottery for the last, however many years.
Yeah.
I mean, just by dumb luck, because, look, that management is not good, right? Like, Vivek and that, no.
Well, they're the original dumpster fire, you said.
Yes. But you pick that off in the lottery, you're going to get somebody decent eventually.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just impossible not to. And, hey, De'Aaron's playing well. Buddy Hield's playing well on that team. You know, Bagley has some good nights here and there. You know.
Excuse
Listen,
me, he was my rookie of the year pick.
Well, you're gonna fail that one because he's not even close. That is a Luka Doncic runaway train, my friend, which of course I picked. as you know.
So you just dropped a fire track.
They're playing better.
Yes.
And they are competitive in games. And look, do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No. But are they going to be as bad as Phoenix? No.
And I think they're going to have, like I said, these small victories that are really going to matter.
They've beaten Oklahoma City twice now. So,
Yikes.
Kudos to them.
Yikes. Let's talk about what's going on in Orlando. The Magic.
Woohoo, the Magic.
Talk to me about the Magic. What's their record looking like?
The Magic are 10-11, so again, not great, but they lost to Golden State last night, but I mean they were leading that game.
It wasn't a blowout.
Nick Vucevic has been balling. Now, granted, it's also a contract year for Vucevic, so everybody let's calm down and he's waiting to get that big deal, and then we'll see if he's able to repeat those numbers. But listen, they're another team. You keep picking the lottery, you're gonna eventually get someone decent, right? Like, what would I say to you today? A broken clock's right twice a day, right?
He is full of jokes.
But I'm saying though, right? Like, eventually, you will walk your way into something by just dumb luck. Like, we've all done that in our lives. Found money, whatever it is. Random good things will happen to you once in a while.
Oh my God.
But they've got some talent over there. Mo Bamba, Jonathan Isaacs. Like, we like a lot. Aaron Gordon, when he's healthy. Like, they've got some players. So, and they're competing and they're playing. Do I have faith in the management overall? Not really. But, hey, they're going to have some decent nights because
they will.
When you have enough talent, even if it's mismatched talent, which it is, they'll luck their way into wins. And so,
hey, I mean, they're in a good spot for what they have, so you got to utilize what you got. Last but not least, the Memphis Grizzlies.
12-7 Memphis Grizzlies.
Dang!
Mike Conley, Marc Gasol playing hella defense as he always
does. Marc Gasol is playing good defense.
Playing great defense.
And he's got no old beef
anymore. No beef with David Fisdale. They pass it all up.
Water under the bridge.
And rookie Jarod Jackson Jr. is playing really well.
He's going off.
I still worry about them in terms of playoffs. They're 12-7 right now. And also because, look, the injury history of Gasol and Conley is not good.
Hopefully Conley can escape injury this season because he
is
playing very well.
I will say this. If those guys are healthy all season, they are making the playoffs. But
I like it.
History has told us those two playing a full season, not likely.
All I'm going to say is Jarod Jackson Jr., wow. A lot of potential.
I'm excited.
I think he has a great future ahead of him. Got a lot of time with him when he was drafted.
Yep.
Great guy.
I'm excited to see them. Memphis will be in town Friday to play Brooklyn. I'll be at that game. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to hopefully get some time with Jarod Jackson Jr. I really want to check him out up close and get a chance to chat with him a little bit. I like what's going on in Memphis.
Really good guy. Yeah. Personal, you'll have a good chat with him.
Looking forward to it.
Last but not least, we got to end this one with Pop and Kawhi going in the ring, taking shots. Not as crazy as it seems, guys, but it is noteworthy, okay? Pop came out and said that Kawhi is a great player, hands down, but not a leader. So Kawhi actually spoke.
He did. We heard his voice.
We heard his voice. Not his laugh, but we heard his voice. And he said it's funny to him. I wish he laughed. He said it's funny to him because what did he say? He said, you're not leading even though you're not playing. I guess they forget who's a leader when you're not playing.
Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously this Pop taking a shot. The Pop's full of context of his comments where Kawhi's a great player, but he wasn't a leader. And I think he's probably meant vocal leader, right? Because in that locker room, there was Tony Parker, there was Patty Mills, there's Manu Ginobili. So Kawhi didn't have to say anything because he had those guys.
Where are you going to fall on the leaderboard when you're Kawhi in a locker room that deep?
Right. And Kawhi's play helped. Look, I think part of it is Pop still being a little mad that Kawhi's not on the team anymore. Because look, when Kawhi is right, as we're seeing in Toronto right now, Kawhi is a top 5 player in this league.
Exactly.
Very obvious. Toronto best record in the league. And that Toronto Golden State game on Thursday, woo! That's going to be a good one.
I just got the chills.
That's going to be a great early season game. Guess what? Kawhi is showing he's a leader in Toronto right now with Kyle Lowry.
He is.
So, hey, with Cal. So, listen.
With Drake courtside, new OVO uniforms.
It is.
Why doesn't care?
Drake, we need those OVO uniforms, Playboy. Champagne Poppy, hit us up.
Please, Champagne Poppy.
Can you slide in his DMs?
Oh, gosh. You know how deep I'd be in those DMs? I mean, that gets you nowhere.
Can you get us some OVO? I mean, come on. Works some magic.
Only if I'm bidding on eBay. So. It is what it is. Maybe we can throw that 7-footer's name down and get some jerseys.
Maybe. We'll see.
Thanks, guys. We will see you guys next week. Remember, we have a surprise coming for you, so stay tuned.
Peace. Good job.